Okay, you guys got me. I'm not going to put up the starting soon screen. I started without it, so I got my tablet up. I do have to switch over to live chat. Anyone who's here, do remember, switch on over to live chat. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Is this one? I'm honestly not sure. Thomas says, stop hiding, bird of prey. I have a gift for you with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Thomas. And Jason Link, his first time on a Bird of Prey stream. Welcome, Jason Link. Carlos Albanese is here too. Welcome, Carlos. And I know there's people who were here earlier. Okay, the audio is working. So let me go back to the beginning of the chat and we'll get through it real quick. Kronos, yes, you were first, Kronos. Well, let me switch to live chat just to double check. But I am pretty sure you were first. RMP is in the house. Says sure. Welcome, RMP. Hector says something like that. What did I miss? Thomas says boo. Why are you booing? Because I put on the starting soon screen. Good thing I was, decent. You guys almost got a sneak peek. Not Ryan Johnson with a $5 super chat. Alpacas forever. Sure. Why not? And for those who are new here, we have our resident alpaca right up here. I mean, that alpaca will be there.
Who's been holding up the damn elevator?
Alpacas did not exist on this stream prior to 3 weeks ago or so, but I had my sister stream with me one day, and she started bringing up alpacas, and the next thing we know, Cinnabon is making videos of alpacas shooting flames from their eyes and saying, "Bird, why do you hate me?" And they're going alpaca crazy. So I broke down and I bought an alpaca sticker off Amazon, and now there's an alpaca on every stream, at least every stream that I'm on camera. Hopefully that's enough. Because Mamo Prey doesn't want to have to clean up after a live alpaca, and Sassy probably doesn't want to share the bed with an alpaca. Just best I can tell. She told me. Yeah, Mamo Prey definitely doesn't want to clean up alpacas. Actor says, we saw you. Yes, Actor. I had forgot to turn on the coming soon stream. I knew I forgot something. The starting soon stream. Actor says, stop hiding. Okay. Hello in Qapla. Not right to the hello in Qapla. And Thomas Box with his $1.99 super chat. Thank you again, Thomas. He has a gift for me. Oh, is it a raptor? And again, Jason Link and Carlo. Welcome. Sound is fine. Thank you so much, Carlo. Josh Street says, down with the evil bird of prey until he stops using children to mine and changes his name to Alpaca O'Prey. Well, okay, Alpaca O'Prey isn't happening. But the children thing, it's being blown out of proportion. Okay, what I said, for those who didn't see my video on the Bird O'Prey 5X channel earlier today, when I was at the former Kurogan base investigating the total destruction that Anti-Trekker and Turdistan brought upon it over several attacks. In one spot, they destroyed what was Miss Lester's 4th grade class, and they weren't mining uranium, but they were working with uranium.
Right.
And Joseph Petrick got it. Joseph Petrick got Kissing Dax. 1 in 30 chance or so. Congratulations, Joseph. Well done. Need a lullaby. Oh, you need a lullaby, Joseph? Let me get through a few chats, Joseph, and I'll think of a lullaby. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. Anyway, yeah, so Miss Lester's 4th grade class, they were working with uranium. They were the advanced class, so, they were allowed to have these things. And, it wasn't mining. They were working on new ways to use uranium to bring cheap and efficient power to the world, and also perhaps, some of the more military-minded students might have been working on a new bomb or two to drop on Kurdistan, but they were kids. They were kids, and the anti-tracker destroyed it all. No shame. Hector says, no, we cannot hear you. Well, Hector, well, then I guess I can say anything I want. Kronos says, hey, bird, turds, Mom will pray, and Sassy will pray. Thank you, Kronos, and Jason, and anyone else who might be new from Anti-Tracker Stream. I also have a beagle. I had the beagle first, okay? We had Sassy for 2 years, and before that I had beagles, and before that there were beagles. It was a beagle family, and Anti-Tracker saw Sassy, and he decided he needed to get a beagle too, and that's how it happened. And I swear that is absolutely what happened. Anti-Tracker got a beagle because I had a beagle, and for those who don't know, now Sassy, I don't have a bed because Sassy doesn't stay in one place as much as Auntie, but we do have the Sassy collection available on birdoprey5.com, and you can get a pillow or a shirt or any other type of merch with Sassy's picture on, and that's Sassy. And she is, by the way, as Schronmore will no doubt type in, the chaser of cats, the eater of cookies, the defiler of cushions, but not this cushion, because we don't give it to her, and the scourge of the squirrels. So, Anti-Tracker has Auntie, and he makes us pay Anti-Tracker so he feeds Auntie. I mean, geez, talk about playing on our guilt. The dog doesn't get fed unless we super chat Anti-Tracker. So poor Auntie. Sassy is well fed, well cared for, and I listen. I have nothing against Auntie, but just Sassy's a better dog. Okay, although Auntie's a great dog too. But Anti-Tracker, the dog's name wasn't even named Auntie. The dog's name was Allie, and Anti-Tracker just changed the name. The dog was 7 years old, and he changed her name. Mama Prey was not happy. Poor, and you don't even call her Auntie. Call her Allie. That's her name. That's what the dog. Yeah. Yes, Sister O'Prey will one day head to Tennessee to liberate Allie from Anti-Tracker. So, yeah, that will likely happen. And God help Anti-Tracker if he gets in the way of Sister O'Prey. Mike Richards can hear me. Chronos says Bird of Prey 5 by 5. I'm missing the reference, Chronos. Aaron Matthews is just stopping by for a like and to say hi. Can't stay as I'm going to a wedding. Have a great stream, Bird. Thank you, Aaron Matthew. And people, Aaron Matthew has another channel called Family Scooter. Something with Scooter Life or Family Scooter something. I will find it and I'll post it in my Discord. But which you can also get to from birdoprey5.com, or if somebody knows the link to the channel, please post it in the chat. I checked out a couple of his videos. He's just starting. He's in a mobility scooter because he also has a disability not as severe as mine physically. I don't know what else he might have going on, but he can walk a short distance where I can't. But so he uses the scooter to get around like amusement parks and stuff, and he has a wife and he has kids, and he took the scooter and the kids and the wife to a haunted house recently and some other stuff. So check out his channel. He's starting out, and I'm sure he could use a hello, a nice comment, and if you enjoy this and if you enjoy it, a subscription. Chris Cook says, I can hear you. Thank you, Chris Cook. And I apologize because we do have a user, Chief Cook. So it looks similar. And I'm behind. Yeah, I'm behind. Not Ryan Johnson put in his $5 super chat. Alpacas forever. RMP says, okay, greetings, Party of 5 fans. Party of 5 fans? Where's Party of 5 fans? Miss Londell says, Qapla, Qapla. Chrono says, I forgot about Alpaca Opre, which means you really don't care. RMP says, oh wait, I mean Lost fans. Oh no. Okay, I was a Lost fan right up until their last episode. And then I hated Lost. I hated Lost, much like I hate Discovery. Although, actually, I prefer Discovery. And this is a hard one. You see, when Discovery's next season comes out, I will watch it begrudgingly in the hopes it might be better. But if they say, oh, we're going to come out with a season 7 of Lost, or whatever season they were up to, I would say, F that. I'm never watching Lost again. So, I'd actually watch Discovery over Lost. That is how bad Lost was. Vile Mike says, howdy folks in alpacas. Joseph says, hey Joe, Mamo Pray, Sassy, and the Corky flock. And the flock, yes, the flock. Mamo Pray saying hello to everybody as she heads out with Sassy for a little bit. Miss Lodell is saying emus rule. Agner says, what about Chicken Opre? We don't have anybody here named Chicken Opre. Tyron Beard says, hey guys, welcome Tyron. Jason Link, do you have a burning anti-trekker clip? Actually, not exactly, but I do have this. You see, before Space Engineers, way back when we first started fighting the Kurdistan and Karoga wars, our first game was City Skylines. And I put out this video where I did now if you know City Skylines, it's a lot like Sim City. And of course the video is not playing. Let's try that again. Okay, I'm going to mute the sound. But yeah, so basically it's City Skylines is a lot like Sim City. So I went to Anti-Trekker's Island and I lobbed a bunch of level 10 meteors. Oh, actually level 25 meteors at the island. And then I just waited for it to, be destroyed. So it was from this clip that Anti-Trekker, I think, got the idea to start putting game clips in the streams. So again, I'd say that was my idea. Yeah. So, and Anti-Trekker's Island just getting smashed to hell by meteors. Oh, and then at the end, I put a clip of me laughing where it was a review from a recent Star Trek Discovery episode. And you'll see. You'll see. Mike Richards is Bird of Prey. Can your blood pressure stand STD Season 3? Well, we'll see. We'll see, Mike Richards. Lost is not an amazing show, Mr. Miles. Here it comes. Oh, yeah. I forgot adult languages. Adult languages were used. Yeah, I think that particular clip was where Sarek decided that the most logical thing to do was to turn Spock over to Section 31 in Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, which the more you think about it, it still angers me to this day that Sarek, the most logical of all logical Vulcans, except when he was sick. I mean, granted, TNG, and he was crying, he was sick, he had an illness. But at this point in time, he's not sick. He is an extremely logical being. To think that turning Spock over to Section 31 was the best I can't even bring it up. I can't even bring it up. Yeah, no, I muted it on purpose. I'm sorry. I didn't want to play the music because it was honestly too loud and you wouldn't have heard me. So I'm sorry about that. I hope you did hear me. Wesley Crusher says AT Bird of Prey 5. At Bird of Prey 5. I see what you're saying. Mike Richards says Bird of Prey. Do the alpacas have a name? Does the alpaca have a name? This alpaca? Sure, it has a name. It's George. George the alpaca. Chrono says, Hector, I was thinking of a more bacon-wrapped steak au prey. How does Anti-Trekker not like bacon? I have some suspicions. Okay, I'm starting to think Turdistan wasn't just a random name he made up. Kronos says Hector. Yeah, what was this? Kronos says, Wesley says, hi all. Kronos says, YouTube is really annoying lately. Well, that's certainly true. Yosef still needs a lullaby. Lullaby. What's a lullaby? I mean, I know what lullabies are. I'm just trying to think of one. A lullaby. Lullaby for babies to go to sleep. I'm not saying you're a baby. John Araki with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, John Araki.
Could take weeks, sir.
Let's see. I don't know. Bedtime lullabies, or is that a particular song? Yeah, I don't think this is a lullaby. No. I'll just Google one. Huh? Rockabye Baby? I don't think that one would work, even if I changed the name. Here we go. Here we go. Their lyrics? Hush, little Yosef, don't say a word. Bird's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Bird's gonna buy you a diamond ring. An alpaca. And if that alpaca doesn't ride, Bird's gonna buy you a looking glass. And if that looking glass isn't shiny, Bird's gonna buy you a Bentley. Yeah, Bentley. And if that Bentley doesn't drive, Bird's gonna buy you a Jeep. A Jeep, that'll be all you need. You're gonna be running over shit with your Jeep. Vroom, vroom. Brrr. Yes. Yes, you're gonna climb all the mountains. You're gonna get to the top of Mount Everest. Ah! The power of the Jeep. Oh, I'm sorry. And if that Jeep doesn't, I don't know, Bird's gonna buy you a dog. And if that dog don't bark, just consider yourself lucky. Because it's a lot better that way. You'll be the sweetest little Yosef in town. I don't know. I don't think the rest of these words. You'll still be the sweetest little Yosef in town. There you go, Yosef. Don't worry. You don't have to pay me. That was on the house. What the hell's going on? Oh, I started another video. I was hearing things. Yeah, Yosef. So I don't know if that either taught you never to ask for a lullaby again, or perhaps you've gone quietly to sleep. Kronos says jackpot wootness. Yeah, that was back. That was back for the Dax super chat. RMP is laughing. Jason says space lesbians. Yes. Actor says Mr. Miles. When did he deny that? I don't know. Children working with uranium doesn't sound any better. Thomas, believe me, it's much better working with uranium than mining uranium. Bio Mike wants to see an emu versus alpaca. Carlos says children working with uranium, you're teaching them the importance of how to make a reactor. Yes, and a bomb, but yes. Cinnabon Bunny says hello. Welcome, Cinnabon Bunny. Hector says glow-in-the-dark, paint, and toys. Well, how else do you think you make that permanently glow-in-the-dark stuff? You need uranium. Mark Andy says, was that Dax's tongue or the symbiont's? I don't think the symbiont's tongue goes that far, but I don't know. Thomas Potts says, Turtistan in space, you can't drop a bomb. Thomas, I've seen a recent movie that claims otherwise. Joseph says, Emu Opre 5 versus Alpaca Opre 5 versus Bird Opre 5 versus Sassy Opre. Well, Sassy probably wins. RMP says, you mean like this guy? And then nothing. Carlo Albanese says, was Archer the first? Oh, wasn't Archer? No, Archer was the first Starfleet captain with a beagle, but not the first person with a beagle. No, beagles go back ancient times, before the Egyptians, in fact. The ancient Sumerians had their one true god was actually, the name translates to English as beagle, a beagle of the sky. And that was forbidden to make any statues of this god. It was also forbidden to make any written reference of this god. It was also forbidden to speak of the god. But the true history, we know it was passed down by non-Sumerians who knew Sumerians, who, would get a little drunk and would talk about things they weren't supposed to talk about. And through the generations, it's been passed down in oral history of the ancient world. And I've become aware of this, that the ancient Sumerians worshipped a star beagle named Eucalyptus. It's very hard for me to pronounce. It sounds like it sounds a little bit like Okahumpka, which is a city in Florida, or more like a town in like north central Florida, and eucalyptus. It sounds like a combination. So like eucalyptus is the best I can do, because it was ancient Sumerian. So don't ask me to pronounce that. I can barely pronounce English. But yeah, so the giant beagle star god Eucalyptus was the god of the Sumerians, which was really like the first real civilization on Earth. So, yeah, I mean, Might be the one true religion. I don't know. You should ask Ocalympus or pray to her. Now, if you supposedly to get Ocalympus to answer your prayers, you had to feed the nearest beagle as much as you could. As much as you could. Just keep feeding until the beagle gets full. And then, if you could ever make the beagle full, it was said that Ocalympus would grant you 2.5 wishes. You're gonna ask, what's half a wish? I'm not even gonna bother to explain it. Think about it. Go figure it out. Actor says Thomas Potts with gravity generators on. Flashbacks of The Last Jedi. Chris M. Collecting says you have beagles first is fake news, like kids not working in uranium mines in Karoga. No, it's not fake. Thomas says Bill just admitted to war crimes. Well, then I guess we should get Bill. It's illegal for children to make bombs, not in Karoga. What if they're really smart children that are really good at making bombs? Uncle Raymond says, without respect, we reject. Absolutely. Vile Mike says, Sheath, I designed nuclear bombs in school and I get a visit from the FBI, but Karogan kids actually get actual uranium. You see, Vile, you should have been a kid in Karoga. You would have been, the government would have said, hey, you're pretty special. Why don't you come work for us? Instead of saying, go back to, Miss John's class and you can, rub snot on your face like a regular fourth grader. Ms. Mouse's bird of prey, get an Australian shepherd next time. Thank you, but no. Next time, says actor, and action indeed. John Street says bird is selling Sassy. Someone called PETA to save Sassy. We're not selling Sassy. Nobody's selling Sassy. Sassy's not for sale. Thomas says Hector didn't mention The Last Jedi. No, but you basically did. Mark Andy says you beat Anti-Tracker to Beagle, but I beat the Beats to a dang Deagle. But I bet he beats you to a Deagle? You beat Anti-Tracker to a Beagle, but I bet he beats you to a Deagle. The hell's a Deagle? And then you put gun emojis. Okay. A Desert Eagle? You mean that? Well, I don't have a Desert Eagle, so if Anti-Tracker does, then surely he would beat me. Orville Nation is in the house with a $5 super chat. Says, hey, bird of prey, Qapla. Now, I know this doesn't go with Qapla, but Qapla. Qapla. Orville Nation, very cool to see you in the chat. And, oh shit. I scrolled all the way down. Okay. I gotta get back up to where I was. And just says, hey, bird of prey, Qapla, Qapla, Orville Nation. I will get to you. I'm running a few minutes behind in the chat, but we will get down there shortly. Yeah, next time, the Desert Eagle. I assume that's what you mean. I don't have one. I mean, I'd love to have one, but, New York City would have a problem with it. Actors is Thomas Potts. You brought up the drop bombs in space subject. Absolutely. In court, we'd call that a stupid move. Enclave soldiers in the house says, do you believe all who work at CBS should be given eternal suffering? Not all, but a lot. There are some innocents among them. Janitors, secretaries, kids who are working for free of charge, because they think, coming in as an intern is going to give them a leg up as to getting a job there later. Probably. Yeah. But for the most part, certainly the creatives, the executives, definitely the executives, and many of the creatives, and anybody involved in Star Trek, whether actor or writer or producer, all deserve. Now, I see eternal suffering. I have a problem with eternal suffering. Eventually, they will they will be cleansed. But it's such a long time that we might as well call it eternal. But I mean, is 50 million years long enough? Probably. I don't want to split hairs over 50 million or 100 million years. But somewhere in that range, I think we'd be okay. Miss Lundell says, so CBS screwed Anis Aboudin. I heard something like that something went bad in the first lawsuit, but I don't know if he's got a chance to appeal. I don't know the details, but I did hear that like something didn't go well. So we'll have to check that out. Josh reads his bird. One of these days, Sassy will lock you out when you do the next Chair of Life. That is entirely possible. Chronos says, Bird of Prey 5x5. You forgot already what this means. 5x5. Yes, Chronos, I forgot. I'm sorry. Tyrion Beard says, Enclave Soldier says, yes, they should. Thomas Bond says, oh my god, he forgot it again. 5x5. Chronos slaps his forehead. Chronos, what is 5x5, Chronos? What is 5x5? Okay. Nobody's being forthcoming. Jason Link says, guest anti-tracker never heard of the Demon Core experiments called Chasing the Demon's Tail. You were just teaching the kids about physics. Lol. Jason, I've told this story before, but when I was in elementary school, 4th or 5th grade, our principal came into the school with a bag of marshmallows. And now when the principal comes into the classroom, he came into our classroom, and he had the teacher go, either sit in the corner or do something else. I don't remember. The teacher wasn't involved. The principal was going to teach this lesson. So he had all of us sit on the floor in what we then called the Indian style, but now would be called Native American style. I don't know. And we were sitting equal distance away from each other. And he gave us all 2 or 3 marshmallows. I think 2 marshmallows. Okay? And he said he's going to teach us about nuclear fission. And what the rule was, he was going to throw a marshmallow at one student. And then if you got hit with a marshmallow, you were to throw both your marshmallows up in the air. And then if you got hit with a marshmallow, presumably either from the falling marshmallows or directly because of the principal, then you shoot your marshmallows up in the air too. And so we had 20, 25 kids, probably 25, sitting 5x5. And we all had marshmallows. And he throws the marshmallow at one kid. They throw up their marshmallow. And then within 5 seconds, everybody threw all their marshmallows up because everybody was getting hit by marshmallows. And he said, kids, that's nuclear fission. That's the secret of the atomic bomb, is that the uranium atoms, they so close together that it starts a chain reaction. And one uranium atom splits and it releases the protons or whatever hits other uranium atoms, so they split. And if they're packed tightly enough together like you guys are, it's a chain reaction that happens near instantly, and you get the nuclear explosion. And you're like, okay, fine. And oh, cool, we had marshmallows today. That's, Oh, and we learned about nuclear fission. It was years later when I was thinking, why was this principal going around to 4th and 5th grade classrooms teaching about nuclear fission? And why was nuclear fission so much more important to teach 4th and 5th graders than, say, solar electricity or, gravity, astronomy, anything else? Why was it nuclear fission? Years later, I came to realize, probably some type of Reagan-era government program, or first Bush, that they probably wanted all the school's kids to understand nuclear fission, because if we were ever in a nuclear war, and only, 1% of our population survived, the kids that did survive would understand how the basics of nuclear fission worked, so they could race to make the next atomic bombs to wipe out whatever was left of the Russian kids, who presumably were also being taught about nuclear fission in the young grades. That was the best theory I could come up with. That even we were the last resort. If the world goes to hell and everything gets bombed and, 1 in a million people survive, hopefully that one was taught about nuclear fission, and they would be able to teach their kids, in the radioactive wasteland, and eventually be the first to get back to having nuclear weapons. Or as Chekhov would say, nuclear weapons and nuclear vessels. Kronos is bird of prey. Okay, 5 by 5 means I can help you all. Oh, 5 by 5. Yes, it's the okay. It's the all okay, right? The shortwave radio, 5 by 5 signals by 5 bars or something. Everything's okay. Now you see, when you put it like that, now I get it. 5 by 5. Now I get it. Actors is like, yes, loud and clear. Thomas is Lost is a good show. Unsubbing. Well, Thomas, if you think Lost is a good show, you probably should unsub. Mr. Smiles says Lost is an amazing show. More people who should unsub. Actor says The Hand, on the other hand. The Hand, on the other hand. Mr. Miles says, just don't watch the last episode. That's absolutely true. Just make up your own ending. And my ending to Lost was much better. My ending to Lost was, and just real quick, because I know I've already gone off on like 15 tangents. My ending to Lost was that the island was in a special, I don't know, vacuum, not vacuum, like a special reality or dimension or whatever. Some electromagnetic weirdness caused time on the island to go really fast. No. Caused time on the island to go... Well, which was it? It's a long time ago. No, okay, right. So there was an electromagnetic disturbance on the island that caused time to basically stop. Now, not time as we know it, like, we're moving in slow motion, but life, okay? That you would age, your aging process would actually stop. If you came to the island, your aging process would stop, and you would get much, much healthier, and that's why all the sick people who got to the island got better. But because it would have that effect on your biology, it would also prevent women from getting pregnant, and women who were pregnant would lose their babies. So that's why they had to give a special medication to Claire and any other pregnant woman on the island, because if they didn't, the island would cause them to lose their babies. So Claire had to get that so she could have the baby, and then the baby would have needed to get it to grow, because the kids would never grow up. You would just stay the same age you were once you got there. And like John Locke actually recovered a bit because he was the one who got there and he couldn't walk. He was paralyzed. And so that was it. And so the island, anyway, they were researching on the island because they were basically researching like the secret of eternal life. And that's why the island was so special. And that's why some of the people there had been there for centuries. As to why it caused the plane to crash and why you had to put the numbers in, I don't know. I don't remember. I had an answer, but it's been so long, and I pushed so much of Lost out of my brain. I can't even begin to tell you. Josh Street says, Bird, what season of whatever of Lost season? Bird season of whatever. Josh Street says, Bird, season whatever of Lost was season 1 and 2 of STD. No, because the first couple of seasons of Lost, I loved Lost. Okay? I loved it. I thought it was the greatest show. I made time. I watched it religiously. By the first episode of STD, I was like, what is this poop? This is poop. Maybe it'll get better next episode. Maybe it'll get better next episode. Next thing we know, we're halfway through the season, and it's gotten worse. And then the season ended. I was like, oh my God, how could this get any worse? And then they produced 4 short tracks, 2 of which were even worse than the first season. And 1 was so-so, and 1 was just boring as F. Now, the boring as F actually counts as a pretty decent Discovery episode because most of their episodes are like negative. They hurt to watch. So just a boring episode is actually an improvement. Having watched STD's first 2 seasons, I have an all new appreciation for every episode of the original series, okay? I don't think there's a bad episode of the original series anymore after having watched STD season 1 and 2. Because no episode that I thought was bad is nearly as bad as any STD episode. And Mike Richards wants to know if my blood pressure can stand STD season 3. I don't know, Mike Richards. We'll have to see. Ms. Londell says the only show I'd watch extra episodes were done would be Jericho. Oh, I love Jericho. And I didn't hate the ending. I was happy that they at least, because they canceled Jericho early. I was happy they did find a way to give us a decent ending to Jericho, even though it was supposed to be a longer show. But I enjoyed Jericho a lot. Uncle Remus says you don't like mystery boxes. I didn't say that. RMP says TNG sucked in the first 6 episodes, but then it turned out to be the best Trek. Discovery, they're trying and they still can't get it right. I don't think the 3rd season will be better. I agree. I could have given them a full season to get better. But no. And honestly, it's so bad. I mean, even if you want to say other series had bad seasons and bad episodes, yes. But this is like a whole nother level of bad. Jason Links is Bird of Prey. Lowell, that's epic. What number? Lowell, that's epic. What number is that one? Oh, Jason, I'm so sorry. I have so far past whatever we were talking about. But if you're still here and you want to refresh my memory, I'll let you know. John Street says this was fake news from Kuroger's God, evil dictator. Mr. Miles says Lost is one of the best series ever made, with one of the worst endings. Yeah, Josh Street and Kronos were saying it's muted. Well, I was just trying to talk. Oh, okay. It's not a number. I just play it when I have to Jaloja or something. I'll play that sometimes. But if you want to watch it, I can put it on with the music. I mean, whatever. Throw $1 or $2, whatever. We can put it on. I don't think it's really. I don't really do super chats. I mean, actually, if you really want to see it at some point, just ask. Don't even worry about it. I'll try to put it on if I have to Jaloja, which I usually have to do once a stream. Oh, speaking of once a stream. Oh, we got 27 people here. Sunday. This Sunday. Now, it would be earlier in the day. At least a start. Okay? Tell me if anybody's interested. I just found out. I mean, I knew the Rambo movie had been coming out, but I didn't know that it was already released. And I'm a big Rambo fan. I always have been. I mean, I have home video of me as like a 6-year-old or something, or an 8-year-old, or maybe even younger, maybe like 7 years old, and we're upstate in the Adirondack property, upstate New York property the family has, and my uncle has got his shirt off running through the woods pretending to be Rambo, and my dad's driving a tractor, and I'm on the back it was like a hayride. I was on the back with another uncle and some other people, and it was so like, I mean, I was the kid, and so my uncle was pretending to be Rambo, and I was like, Rambo, and I had, you know, a little bit of a speech impediment and stuff. I still, even more so. And I'll be like, yeah, Rambo, Dad, it's Rambo. I mean, so I always liked Rambo. I always had good memories of Rambo First Blood, Part 2, 3, Jesus, 4 was a little weak, but okay, I still watched it. Still better than most movies today. And 5, I'm hearing great things about Rambo 5. I can't wait to see it, but of course, I can't see it for probably quite a while. But I was thinking on Sunday doing a marathon watch of the first 4 Rambo movies. Now, I can't stream them, obviously, but we could stream, and for those who have done it in the past, and those who might be interested, if you go to my Discord while I'm streaming, I can put in a link that synchronizes the video so that we're all watching it at the same time. Like you're all in my living room and we're all together watching Rambo 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4 if there's time. And I was thinking of just doing that Sunday in lieu of whatever I would normally play. I mean, this is going to be a few hours. So, I mean, there'd be time I'd have to, you know, not say anything and just watch for a few minutes while I'm eating and jalodering and other things I have to do. I wouldn't be on camera the entire time, but the audio would be available. I would be talking. Maybe we could open up the Discord to talk back and forth. So if you guys are interested, please in the chat, let me know. You know, put in a 1 in the chat if you would be interested in that. Now, this would be going on Sunday, probably starting around noon Eastern and continuing throughout the evening. And so if you're interested that you think you would do it, and be honest. If you're interested and you would do it, put a 1. If you say, no, that's not for me, put a 2. And if it's, you know, anything else, you know, like a maybe, or like it sounds cool, but I can't make it that day, or whatever, then put in a 3, I guess. Or just say what you want to say. So 1 is yes, you do it and you would be there if I did do it. 2 is not for me. And 3 is anything else. We'll keep going. Oh, did I turned the TV on, apparently. Oh, let me pause it. Thomas can't believe he's saying this, but Mr. Miles is right. Well, except for the last episode, but the last episode ruined everything. An actor liked Game of Thrones. I like Game of Thrones too, until the last season. Mr. Miles says, yeah, like a lot like Mass Effect. You know, I've never seen Mass Effect. Mr. Miles says, Game of Thrones, yeah, again, same story, sigh. Mr. Miles, that's too many. Actor says Mass Effect, though, at least it had the indoctrination theory to save it if you chose to buy into it. I've never heard of Mass Effect. I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. I didn't even know it was a sci-fi show, to be honest. I'm assuming it's a sci-fi show. Mr. Miles says, I also think bacon is overrated. Wow, Mr. Miles, you and Anti-Tracker were meant to be together. Tiki of Doom says Anti-Tracker is from Northern California. He's probably secretly a vegan. No, I don't think he's a vegan. He said that he loves steak many, many times. But I don't know. Cronus says, wow, Miles, just wow. Mr. Miles says, everyone is it wrong. Pork chops are superior to bacon. Oh my god. Kronos is unsubbing if you have a channel, Miles. Jason Link with a $2 super chat says, burn Turd Man, burn, lol. You don't want to burn Turd Man. It makes it even worse. Makes the stink even worse. The best thing you can do to Turd Man is freeze it and then bury it in the yard. Just a heads up. If you ever get the chance. Carlo says, Vulcans are full of emotions, and it must be hard for them to suppress it, like we saw with Picard. They are crying out their love, but not showing it otherwise. It can get out of control. Bless. Yeah, okay, that is true. Vulcans are full of emotions, but Sarek was a master of hiding that emotion, of suppressing that emotion. Although, to be fair, in Star Trek IV, when the Vulcan High Priestess tells Sarek what he asks is not logical, and he says, forgive him, his logic, what does it say, his logic, my logic falters or something when it comes to my son. So maybe Sarek is a slightly emotional Vulcan, but at this point in time, Sarek should not be thinking Section 31 is the answer. First, Sarek shouldn't even know Section 31 exists, but that's a whole other problem. RMP says Antitrigger told us he's going to change his channel's name to Turtle Prey 7. He's welcome to. Wesley Crushers is stuck driving on the 10 freeway. Wow, Wes, sorry to hear that. Although the 10 freeway, if you're in the right part of California, does have beautiful scenery. Chief Cook says, hey, welcome, Chief Cook. I suppose you are different from Chris Cook, who was here earlier. Welcome. Hector says, looking at him, very secret vegan. Yes, a very secret vegan. Mr. Londell says, why did the vids of the laughing amidst the flames remind me of the pictures of Khrushchev in the right stuff every time they launched into space? I don't know. I don't know why. Yosef says, lol, just skip the lullaby. Well, I didn't. Actor says, hey to the chief. Mr. Miles says, Kronos, which would you rather have, a perfectly cooked pork chop or perfectly cooked bacon? Bacon! Mr. Miles says, give me the pork chop 10 of the 10 times. No, give me the bacon. Bacon of bacon times. Did somebody say bacon? Chief Cook is saying hi. Carlos says, pork chops. Kronos says, why do I have to choose? That's true. Bacon wrapped pork chops. Chief Cook says, oh my god. Josh Reed says, the mute before Bird of Prey, better mute before Bird of Prey destroys your ears. I guess this is where I started the lullaby. Uncle Remus says, sing Soft Kitty song from the Big Bang Theory. Oh. Soft kitty, happy kitty, little ball of fur. Soft kitty, happy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Is that it? I think so. That's the best I can do. I might have been wrong with a word or two. Soft kitty, happy kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, soft kitty, purr, purr, purr. Yeah, there you go. You got it twice. Uncle Remus, I just read it. Mr. Miles says Kronos because bacon is overrated. Pork chops are better. Kronos says thanks to Yosef. Yeah. Carlos says too late. Chief Cook says no singing. Ms. Londell says, Mr. Miles, how about a pork chop wrapped in perfectly cooked bacon? Actor says, oh no, Joe is losing it. Carlos says, lol, he loves the Jeep. You understand. A man loves a Jeep. Like a man loves his car or his Jeep. Mike Richards says, Bird of Prey, lullaby, and good night. Hope Anti-Trigger doesn't kill you. Sweet dreams, little baby. Josh Street says, Bird has lost his mind again. Well, that's cool, Josh Street, because at least it implies that at some point I hadn't. Kronos says, Bird, you can't deal with the mountains very well. Guys, I don't even want to tell you, after that video, after that video I posted on the Bird of Prey 5X channel, where I was flying the Phantom back to Kuroga, the new Kurogan bunker, I crashed. I crashed the Phantom again. So I guess when I rebuild the Phantom again, it will be the Phantom B. Which means, yes, I lost the original Phantom, and then I lost the Phantom A. So hopefully the Phantom B will be the lucky one. Yeah. Chief Cook says, shoot the bird. Actor says, call the guys in white. Oh, man. Yeah, I got a little crazy. Thomas says, what the bloody hell? And he's not even English. Chrono says, I like pork chops wrapped in bacon. Yeah, that's fine. Blasted Health, has Rambo built the wall yet? I don't know. Has he? Vile Mike says, soft, sassy, warm, sassy, little ball of fur. Nice, sassy, tired, sassy, sass of a bitch. I love it. I love it. Soft, sassy, warm, sassy, big old ball of fur. Nice, sassy, tired, sassy, son of a bitch. Josh Street says, shouldn't Bird clone a sassy? No, you don't clone your dog. Actor says, or the natural way, Josh. Chrono says, or is that bacon wrapped pork chops? Well, whatever. Bacon wrapped bacon is the best bacon. Actor says, never let her have puppies. Actor, that is what Sister O'Prey wants so bad. It's for Sassy to have puppies. I've said no. I'm saying no. Actor says mining uranium is better. Natural uranium is only slightly radioactive, like a ton of natural oxide for 1 gram of pure uranium. So, Mama Prey found my uranium in the garage once, and she got freaked out by it. You know, like, why do you have uranium? Well, because Amazon sold it, and I thought it'd be funny to buy uranium. So I have an actual little tin of uranium, and even though it said it was perfectly safe, it also said be careful not to get it on your skin or swallow it. So I thought it was cool. I looked at it, and then I put it back in its tin, and I had the tin out here in my living room for a while. I'm like, I don't know if I want the uranium sitting in my living room. So I didn't know where else to put it. So even though it was not a lead-lined refrigerator, like in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, I went down to my garage. Wow, garage. Oh my God, I can't say garage. Garage, where we had an extra refrigerator, not turned on. And I stuffed it in there and surrounded it with dense metal stuff. And just left it there for, I don't know, 15 years. And then Mama Prey, while going through it one day, not too long ago, found it. It's like, what the hell is this? It's like, it's uranium. Yeah. Maybe I'll send it to Anti-Tracker. Huh? Okay. Who is stronger, Cy Stallone in Rambo or Chuck Norris in Missing in Action? I'd have to say Rambo. You know what? Stronger? Yeah, I think Rambo is. I think Rambo. Listen, I think Chuck Norris probably has better hand-to-hand combat moves, but Rambo is probably pound for pound stronger. And if they both just had to kill each other, and they were released into like the woods or into a city, I think Rambo kills Chuck Norris 7 out of 10 times. Certainly if they both had a weapon, Rambo wins every time. Actor says beagles are old. First traces of something similar is mentioned in Greece, but not Sumerians. Decorrogating history. Actor, I beg to differ. Carlos says, all dogs come from wolves. It's amazing what selective breeding can do. And devastating. They think most dogs will die out in the next 1,000 years. That's sad. Uncle Remus says, say my name, bird ukulele. Is that how you spell ukulele? I'm starting to think it's not. Bird Ukil? Ukil? Agnes says, bird is the name of hell. Josh Street says, of hell. John Araki says, I am the great bird Holio. I am the great bird Holio. I need GP for my bunghole. Wow. John Araki says, Llama T ta ta for my bunghole. No more stuff for my bunghole. Joseph says, minors or minors, confused for a foreigner here. Minors, not minors. Carlos says, Joseph both. Actor says, guys, stop posting. You're making bird fall back. You're making bird fell back in the chat. Fall back in the chat. And that's where Orville Nation came in. So we're kind of way behind. Oh yeah. Okay, so guys, I am going to read the @BirdoPrey comments like it says in that note up there. So hopefully you guys read it. And I will just browse the others. So Mike Richards says, Bird of Prey, Sasso, the Beagle Star God, another true story from the Bird of Prey 5 Chronicles. Yes, but it was what was it? You call it something Liptus. I forget now, but yeah, it wasn't Sasso. But you're right there. Josh reads his bird's real name is Herbert. No, I'm not Herbert, who likes strong young lads and lives on a Spooner Street. Orville Nation, I don't know if that's clapping or rubbing their hands together, but thank you. Wesley says, is everyone high? Carlos says, I'm high, but don't tell anyone. Wow. Kennewick Sapien say 5x5, old-time military talk for AOK. Thank you, yes. Kennewick says, or maybe AOC, I can't remember. Commander Shutter says 5x5 refers to signal strength. 5x5 is 1% good signal. Thank you, yes, I did eventually remember. Yes, okay. Jason Link says marshmallows. Worst explanation of nuclear fission I ever heard, says Hector. John Araki says they call it a pretzel style now. Oh, Indian style is now pretzel style? Okay. Chrono says bird of prey, so they make marshmallows for uranium. I don't know, maybe. Uranium flavored marshmallows now for your hot chocolate. RMP says, oh my god, that is so stupid. Kronos is bird of prey, self-heating s'mores. That would be terrific. Although, I'll be honest, I don't eat s'mores because I don't like marshmallow. I know, I'm crazy, but I don't eat like marshmallow. Jason says there's a good super chat clip, his story when Spock producing a marshmallow. Wesley says 5x5 like in and out. I'm hungry now. Wow. Vinyl Mike says bird of prey. Now explain electrothermodynamics with marshmallows. First, you take 2 marshmallows. You stuff them in your ears. Then you take another 6 or 7 marshmallows and stuff them down your throat. And you learned electrothermodynamics, I think. Curtis says, oh my god, how else was I supposed to type it? Agnes is Bird of Prey, the Island Netflix series, lost mixed with virtual reality, written by writers of STD, level quality, 3.4 IMDb. I saw Island on Netflix, and I knew it was going to be crap, and I really, really hard, I was like, no, do not watch this. And so I didn't. I went to Star Trek instead, but I was so close to clicking on it. Thank you, Hector. I was going to read up on it soon. Jason Link says Lost was rather forgettable, kind of like Heroes, which was J.J. Spock before J.J. Trek existed. Well, I think Heroes was not a rip-off of Lost, but certainly in the name of Lost. They were trying to do like Lost did. Vile Mike says premiere of Lost, Magic Island is magic. Yeah. Mr. Miles says Bird of Prey. Did you watch the final post-show scene? They did it as a direct response to people angry with the lack of explanation. I mean the scene that came on the DVD that I didn't buy, but yes, I watched it. And yes, they should have put that into the episode. It would have been better, but it still sucked. Carlos's Bird of Prey Discovery would have been fine with the Spore Drive if it was set in the future, not pre-TOS. Even the ship designs they take out of the damn bridge window. Yes. If this was set in the future, whether it was 10 years or 50 years or 100 years, I'll be honest, the Spore Drive and its whole thing is complete bullshit, stupid, dumbest thing I've ever heard. But at least it wouldn't break canon. Okay? It wouldn't shit the bed on everything if it took place in the future. 80% of my problems with Discovery, no, that's not true. 50% of my problems with Discovery could be taken care of if it took place, 50 years after the end of Voyager, rather than, 10 years before TOS. 50 years after, certainly half of my issues would have gone away. It still would have been a sucky show with a sucky actress. Well, no, she's not a terrible actress. Her part is terrible. With a sucky story, but at least it wouldn't be hurting everything else we know in Trek. Jason Links' Bird of Prey Last Resort was an awesome show. It only had one season, though. I did not see it. Miss Lodell says Bird of Prey, in my opinion, Jericho just closed one chapter of what could have been a much larger story. You still get that shadow government out there, and only Texas is aware of it. True. And I like that Texas National Guard, Air National Guard at the end. Thomas's Breaking Fist test flight of the TRD Sassy was a success. Good for you, Thomas. Sassy doesn't mind that she's worshipped in Turkestan. Breaking Fist, yeah, it sounds like a movie. Carlos' Bird of Prey Space Above and Beyond was fantastic, except the last episode where they crammed in the story because it was canceled in season 1. I don't think I watched Space Above and Beyond. I might have. It was a while ago. Kronos, I won't believe any critics. Well, I never did. Agnes says, I heard Drom from Midnight's Edge. That is good. You heard Drom? Actor says, you non-believer. Chris M. Collecting says, do it. Kronos gives a rolling eyes. Actor says, you need to find a critic with similar taste to yours. There are none. Vince Lodell says, Sunday with Rambo. Sounds like fun. Got your popcorn. Very cool. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. Carlos says it's going to be a 24-hour stream. No, it's not going to be 24 hours. The first Rambo's only 90 minutes. And the second, I assume, is about the same. So I don't think it's a particularly long, I don't think it's going to be, it's going to be long. It's be my longest live stream to date. But like I said, I'm not going to be constantly on. We're not going to be constantly talking. We're just going to be watching, and we can comment and make comments as different parts happen. But it's not going to be like a DS9 stream where I'm constantly telling you what's happening. If you're in the stream, you're probably going to want to be on my Discord so you can be watching it actually, and not, because I'm not going to have even screenshots on the stream. Just going to be, our stream is really just going to be for the audio for comments. Kronos says Siskel and Ebert are dead. Vile Mike is a 1.5 maybe. Thomas is 56. Adler says, wait to what are we voting for? whether I should watch all the Rambos on Sunday, and you guys could possibly watch with me, though not on YouTube. Ms. Miles says, we're talking for Rambo, not for me. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Miles. Ms. Miles says, Bird of Prey Mass Effect is a sci-fi game that's heavily story-focused. Okay, and RMP says, what Mass Effect RPG game? Oh, okay, well, I didn't know. Jason Link put in his $2. Thank you for burning the turd man. Vile Mike says, Mass Effect is a video game series. Croto says, it's a fake. Mr. Miles says, Bird of Prey, you should get Mass Effect and play it. You can get the entire original trilogy for next to nothing now. The story's still sold up. Well, thank you, Mr. Miles, but I have no more time for any new games. I don't have time to play the games I want to play. And I understand there's a lot of good games out there, but I don't want to knock, Space Engineers or City Skylines or Besiege out of my... And I already feel like I'm not playing them enough. And there's no extra time in the day to play. Kronos says his logic is uncertain when it came to his son. Thank you, Kronos. Actor says, make sure you're suggesting a game where he has to shoot. Actor says, maybe not. Have you seen him shooting? That's true. Carlos says, Bird of Prey, I like the theory that Section 31 was only Sloan and he corrupted Starfleet to do his work before his old obsolete section, the Federation Charter, but some dumb people believed. Carlo, I don't believe that you could have an entire section of the Federation Charter outdated and nobody notices that, hey, that's like saying there was a paragraph in the Constitution that people just forgot is there. I mean, every day there's, not every day, but every year there's dozens of Supreme Court cases where people are going back to the text of the Constitution and arguing it one way or another. So I don't believe that there was a whole section of the Federation Charter that was forgotten about. I just think they were probably a much smaller force pre-Dominion War. And they grew after the Borg and Dominion War threats. Jason Link with a $2 super chat again. Jason, thank you so much. Says, freeze, Turdman, freeze. Mr. Freeze is overlooked. Absolutely. Yeah, Carlo, Section 31, if you want to take DS9, what it said, understand DS9 wrote something into canon, and that really is a retcon. But we've certainly seen the Federation and Starfleet take part in co-opt missions and basically be the bad guy. We've seen the Federation be the bad guy in the original series, in TNG, and in DS9. So the fact that we had to wait till DS9 to get Section 31 in to explain this, to be honest, I'm surprised it took that long. Though I understand that, Roddenberry would never have wanted Section 31 in, but it kind of helps. Because with Section 31, you can still have Captain Picard be quintessentially good and pure, but still have a so-called bad guy in the Federation to get the job done, what really needs to be done. And Captain Picard can plausibly deny that he ever knew it existed. So, win-win. Carlos says, till Enterprise and Discovery. Right, well, that's true. It was in Enterprise too, but in Enterprise it was still pretty secret. Uncle Remus says, thank you for Soft Kitty. Now I can go to bed. You're welcome. Epic Beard says, hey nerds and nay birds. Welcome, Epic. Chrono says, hey beards. And Jason says, Carlo, also in Enterprise. It's doable considering the temporal Cold War. RMP says, goodbye everyone. Don't forget to watch the sky tonight. What's in the sky tonight? Take care, RMP. Multi-Gunman's here, says, hey, Bird, how's it going? It's okay, Multi-Gunman. I was wondering why I'm feeling so tired. I remember it because I switched times with Anti-Tracker. Well, actually, he took my time, and I came on after him. Usually, Anti-Tracker wouldn't even start streaming for another few minutes. Carlos says, Jason, I know Section 31 was an Enterprise, but I don't remember Sloan. That is true. But there's not to say that Section 31 didn't die in Enterprise and then come back in DS9, but I like to think Section 31 was there the whole time. Jason says, same actor, same name, Reed worked with him. Who is the same actor? Epic Beard says, Bird is eating uranium, explains everything. Though I'm purposely not eating uranium, that's why we put it away. Actor says, I can't wait for the radioactive package to be intercepted and traced to the sender. Yeah, don't tell Anti-Trigger. Kronos says, I wanted to say something about that, just didn't know it wanted to go too far. Miss Lundell says, Rambo versus Chuck Norris is a draw. It depends. It really depends on what weapons they have, what's the environment. If they have guns, Rambo wins, especially Vietnam era guns. Where are we? Jason Link says, Actor Chernobyl was a series, was accurate. Watch the Yushchenko show on YouTube. He grew up in Kiev, lives here in Michigan now. Actor says his telekinesis, the Epic Beard. What did Epic Beard say? Bird is eating uranium. Oh, yes, it does explain telekinesis. Jason says, sorry, spelling on name. Carlo says, uranium isn't too bad unless it's extracted uranium-235. Yeah, no, this is probably uranium-238. Kennewick says, whoa, Bird is going into express mode, just like the Q train. Kronos says, yellow cake uranium is not edible cake. Thank you, Kronos. You're correct. Carlos says, uranium-235 is less than 1% of natural uranium. Absolutely. A lot less, if I recall my physics or whatever, earth science. Epic Beard says his evil ways due to mind being warped. Maybe the uranium stored with the milk in the cereal chair. That story, yeah. Actor says for sure one sale on Amazon was the bottom of the barrel type. Yeah. Carlos says, I didn't even tell anyone, and it wasn't even Bird of Prey. Jason, the Bird of Prey is a Herbert. Lol, Herbert. Name the TOS episode. Way to Eden. Kennewick says, now we have all those hippie songs in my head. Thanks. That damn episode, says Carlo. Actors of Bird of Prey, most people would be too dead to learn about electrotherapy. Yes, they would be. That's the point. Okay, we're going to put on some commercials. We'll be right back.
Ronald McDonald in Dreamy Breakfast.
This morning it seems Ronald's having a dream.
Time for breakfast, Bertie.
Oh, boy, Humpty!
Hoppin' the cupcakes. After him, Bertie.
You betcha!
What? Whoops. Gotcha!
Not you! Ronald,
Time for
Ronald.
breakfast with a friend.
Wow! Yummy hotcake, syrup, and butter.
Plus juice and milk.
Breakfast,
A dream come true.
McDonald's and you.
Hertz introduces great low January sale rates, like $69 a week here in Arizona.
Or only $79 a week here in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, Arnie? Well, what about $78 a week here in sunny California?
Or, OJ, only $59 a week here in sunny Florida. Brutal juice, brutal.
Brutal juice. Brutal.
You don't just rent a car, you rent a company.
I love that commercial. Hertz. You just don't rent a car, you rent a company. What quintessential 80s, 90s commercial there is. I mean, that was the good old days. The good old days. And I'm sorry about the sound being off at the beginning. Yes, I had it muted. I don't know why. I'll be honest, I don't know why I muted it. I muted it earlier. Thomas Potts' Bird of Prey. Jack's dad explained it all in that scene. But I didn't like the explanation, Thomas. Jason says Mindhunter and the Ascension of Mars. Kronos says, okay, something. People. Admiral Saval is on, says, yo, welcome, Admiral Saval. Oh, and Alexander gave a $2 Canadian super chat while I was jalodgering, saying, Demora Sulu naked right now. Everybody wants that. Alexander, I'm going to tell your Asian Muslim wife, born in the USSR, that you want to see Demora Sulu naked. I don't think she's going to be too happy. But you're right. Everybody wants it. Of course, maybe not what she looks like now, but, you know, what she looked like back in Star Trek Generations. That was Demora, right? Yeah, that was Demora. Sulu. When did he have time for a family? Carlos says, doesn't Rambo only kill one person in the first film? Takes down a helicopter. Was there really only one death? You know, it doesn't matter how many people he kills. It really doesn't. The point is he's badass. Actor says, all the Rambos, aren't there like 7 or 8? No, there's 4. And a 5th one just hit theaters. Epic says, someone is saying my way. Someone is playing my way about a half mile away outside. And Bird is Bird invading Michigan. I did it my way. No, I can never sing my way. Kronos says, hey to Admiral Saval. Jason Link with a $2 super chat. Freeze, Turdman, freeze. Mr. Freeze is overlooked. Oh, yes, I did read that. Mike Richards is also saying hi to Admiral Saval. Yes, welcome, Admiral. Good to have you among us. Admiral Saval, if you didn't notice, Anti-Tracker and I kind of switched times tonight. He streamed earlier, so I'm streaming a little later than I would normally stream. But we're closer to the end than the beginning at this point. Viles is okay. I'm heading out. Have a good insert relevant time period here. Obligatory subscriber begs sub to my channel so I can hit 100 later. All yes, people. Vile Mike does some really cool. He's got a thing going where he does the original series review videos with his with what he calls his vile child, and she's it's a daughter. I don't know, teenage daughter. I think I forget her age, maybe 15 or something. But getting a vile child's opinion of the episode, it's actually a pretty cool thing. Plus plus Vile gives his opinion, and they watch it together, and it's a lot of laughs. It's a lot of fun. I really suggest people subscribe to Vile Mike's channel. And then if you go to his videos, he also has a link to his eBay store where he sells a lot of retro things. So if you're into any of that, you could check out his eBay store too. Ms. Lundell says Section 31 does not get its power from the Federation Charter. It takes its power from the United Earth Charter. It said it was part of the Federation Charter. Carlos's bird of prey, I meant to say, that's true. Section 31 existed in Enterprise, so it did predate the Federation, but I'm guessing after the formation of the Federation, it then became a section of the Federation Charter. Carlos's bird of prey, I meant to say Section 31 was no longer used once the Federation was established, however, never removed from the Charter, and Sloan used it and convinced some people that was still a thing. But, Carlo, that's the thing, like, we don't just stop using the Navy when we don't have any naval battles to fight. It's always there. I don't think it exists in this world a mechanism to close down a department of government that just doesn't happen to be used anymore without somebody actually changing the laws and removing it. I mean, there would have been people staffing Section 31. They all just going to get up and decide, hey, let's quit today, not tell our bosses we quit, and just stop coming to work, and Section 31 will die. It doesn't make much sense. I just don't see how it happens. Although it's headcanon, so whatever you got to believe to enjoy the episode, you believe it. But for me, personally, I don't think it works. Kronos' Multi-Gunman, The Boys was a good series. I haven't seen it. Carlos' Bird of Prey. I read that. And some people are saying The Boys is good, but not as good as the comic, but good. And Alexander put in his super chat. And Kronos says, yay, the 80s without sound. I'm sorry about that, Kronos. Carlos says, Kennewick, pick and choose what you think may sound good, like Enterprise is formed from First Contact and changes the timeline, discoveries in that timeline. Otherwise, it's just too disheartening. Kronos' Bird of Prey, yeah, not 5x5. I get it. Not coming in loud and clear. I'm sorry. Once I could get a free hand, I unmuted it. Multi-Gunman says, is that Ronald or Pennywise? That's Ronald McDonald. It was. Ronald and Birdie. And OJ, yes, OJ Simpson. I tweeted OJ Simpson recently and asked him what car company is he representing now, or what car company does he recommend now? He did not write back. Kennewick says, wow, $8 a day to rent a car with inflation from 1988. Hector says, Bird should add some wacky Japanese commercials. Yeah, a wacky Japanese commercial did get in there. Jason says, if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit. Now, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Apparently, from what I've seen, the jury was going to acquit him regardless of the glove fitting or not. The glove was just didn't matter at that point. We could get into the OJ trial because I'll be honest, I probably think something different than 90% of you guys. But we could get into the OJ trial one day. OJ rental services could be a thing. That is true. Jason says, I watched OJ trial in a jail cell when I was 18. Wow. So many questions. I was in high school, so I was not quite 18. No. Yeah, I graduated high school at 17. Not, it took 4 years. It just, I was like the youngest person in my class when I started school. Thomas's Denora Sulu was in Trek 4 and in Star Trek Beyond. Star Trek 4, Denora Sulu? What are you talking about, Thomas? Who was the Sulu in Star Trek Generation? Damn it, Thomas. I know you're just effing with me. And I still gotta do it. Yes, she's the one who was in Star Trek Generations. It wouldn't be the Enterprise without a Sulu at the helm. Thomas, it's one thing when you mess with the calendar. It's a whole other thing when you start messing with the Star Trek timeline. Jason says Thomas Tuvok was a human in generations. That is true. Thomas says he shouldn't have been a Vulcan. Okay, so my theory, my headcanon on Tuvok and why he had round ears in the undiscovered, what was it? The undiscovered country. Yeah, it wasn't generations. It was the undiscovered country. I think that some Vulcans thought that if they were going to be working on a starship that was overwhelmingly human, that would be logical to get surgery on their ears to make them fit in and look human, to have rounded ears. That it would be better for that like some Vulcans had it done, and they reported that the crew accepted them more and was more sociable and whatever. And so therefore it was a logical thing to do. And like Tuvok was of the mindset that he wanted to blend in with the humans, whereas other Vulcans are like, I don't want to blend in with the humans. They actually think they're better than humans, so they don't want to do that to their ears. But I think Tuvok was like one of the last Vulcans to have that mindset of trying to blend in. So he had his ears round, and then when he came back to Starfleet years later, he decided to just have his original ears and keep them. Because he had his ears undone after he left Starfleet and went back to Vulcan. That's my headcanon for why the ears don't match. It's good. I mean, it's as good as any explanation you're going to find. Carlos says, oh my god, it's 1:15 a.m. here. Wow. You've kept me up, normally work nights. However, I'm on holiday from work, so I can sleep another day. Well, thank you so much, Carlo, for hanging out with us. Jason Link with another $2 super chat. Makes sense he had pointed ears in ST6. He didn't have pointed ears in Star Trek 6, did he? I could swear he didn't. It would take me too long to look. I could swear he had round ears. He had pointed ears in Voyager, obviously. Mr. Lundell says, Bird of Prey, bear in mind, even though it's a Federation charter, the United Earth Charter was still valid as it only pertains to Earth. I don't know. I don't know if it's still valid. It's like we got the Constitution of the United States. It doesn't mean that the Articles of Confederation are still valid. In fact, they're not. So when Earth joined the Federation, I don't know that its prior documents remained effective. I honestly don't know how Federation law works. Don't be an earist, Vertebrae, says Cronus. Avic Beard says, we were in a mini throwback 80s moment, thought it would fit. Thomas says she was a little girl and beyond. Yes, I know. And his husband took her by the hand and they walked into the space station. That doesn't look anything like a space station. Carlos says that guy didn't even die in the film. Kronos says, yeah, don't be an earist. And Carlo is laughing at earist. And granted, I skipped a lot of chats that didn't have Alberto Prey 5 in it, but I caught up. Okay, well, since I caught up, I'm curious. I'm going to bring up Star Trek 6. Tuvok had ears in Star Trek 6. Pointed ears in Star Trek 6, says Jason. I'm going to, and that Voyager took some liberties. I understand why Voyager would take liberties. But I'm going back to Star Trek 6. I'm sorry. We're going to check it out. And you know what we're going to do? Even though this is not a DS9 stream, and I didn't update, it's still going to say I'm watching Duet. We're going to switch to DS9 because I believe DS9 will have when I show the video, it will show in this scene. Oh, movies, I have them all. I mean, I have them on DVD, but obviously I have them digitally because I need to get I need to get screenshots and some from them. There we are. Movies and TVs. Star Trek. Rambo. Star Trek. Movies. Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. And does it come up? It does come up. Okay. So let's see. That looked like it might have been. Oh, the audio. Oh, I need to shut the audio off. Okay, muting the audio. You're looking through Rora Pente. Oh, wait. It was at the beginning. It was at the very beginning. There we go. Let's see. Let's see. Come on, Tuvok. Praxis! Praxis? Sir, I can't confirm the existence of Praxis. Come on, where are you, Tuvok? Oh, come on, come on. I can't tell. If I make the... No, it's not DS9 Wednesday. Okay, come on. Where are you? Where are you, Tuvok? Do we report this? Are you kidding me? There goes the coffee cup. There's a Tyrannosaurus following you. Oh, different movie. Yeah, but he was in the Orville not playing Tuvok.
No.
Yes, yes. He has round ears as a person. That's for sure. Visual. My God! What are the chances that a relatively 2D phenomenon hits them head on? Where's Tuvok? Are you in this scene, Tuvok? Turn her into the wave. The wave already hit. I could have sworn Tuvok was in this scene, or this was Voyager. This was the liberties Voyager took. Is that him? No. Subspace shockwave. Praxis. On Moon. Praxis is their primary energy producing facility. Key energy production facility. Character of Tuvok was not in this movie. I could have sworn Tuvok, the actor who played Tuvok, was in this movie. Now, I granted he wouldn't have been called Tuvok, and he wouldn't have been a alien. I thought it was a happy coincidence that Tim Ruck or whatever his name is, who plays Tuvok, I thought he happened to be like an extra in this episode. Chrono says he is in the movie, and Kennewick says no, just the Voyager episode. Huh? Tim Russ. Okay, well, you know what? Rather than looking through this, I'm Googling. Was Tim Russ in Star Trek 6? Timothy Darrell Russ, better known. Damn it, just answer the question. He was in Generations? Oh my god, I could have sworn he was in this movie. In Star Trek Generations, actor Tim Russ plays an unnamed bridge officer as he's monitoring the ship's hull in Enterprise B. Wow, no pointy ears or eyebrows. So I must assume he's not Vulcan and therefore... Oh my god, this is like a revelation. Back to the Bird of Prey. Oh my god, this changes everything I thought I knew about Star Trek. I could have sworn Tuvok was one of the humans that happened to be in the episode in the movie Star Trek 6. And it turned out I remembered him from being in Star Trek Generations on the Enterprise B, which was a ship that looked a lot like an Excelsior class vessel, in my defense. And I was only one movie off, but still, if I could be wrong about this, maybe Star Trek Discovery isn't that bad. No, I'm talking crazy. Okay, I see it. I see you guys. I am sorry. I did not believe you. I was so convinced. I saw him. No, Kronos, Mama Prey. Oh, Mama Prey saying maybe I saw him while I was in a coma. Kronos is asking Bird of Prey, does Mama Prey have a tail? No, Kronos. I don't think so. Not today. Thomas says, yes, it's DS9 Wednesday. And Kronos says, didn't have part of the movie. Thomas says, Bird of Prey, we watched that episode already. Now we have to watch it again. Epic Beard says, Bird versus inconceivable guy from The Princess Bride. Who wins? Never get involved in a land war in Asia, and never go up against a Sicilian when life is on the line. So, yeah, I don't know. I could probably take on Andre the Giant, but I don't know about inconceivable. Because if I could not do the poison, I could not get myself used to a poison that just happens to be used years later. Yeah, I wouldn't even try. Just say, well, 50-50 chance. Kronos' epic beard depends on who developed the resistance to... Yeah, Locaine. He is in the movie, says Kronos. Kennewick says that goatee guy is both. Miss Londell says Tim Ross had a bit part in Generations. Yeah, Valentine. Yeah. Tuvok is in Trek 19. Maybe in the director's cut. No, I doubt it. I doubt it's the director's cut. I think I just confused the Enterprise, the Excelsior, and the Enterprise B. Carlos says Tim Ross wasn't in ST6. That would have made it sense for it to be on the Enterprise B. Yeah. Yeah, would have. Okay. Jason says yes with round ears and ST6. I saw it, I swear. I did too, Jason. I swear I saw it too, but apparently Mandela effect. It was Star Trek Generations. Fake news. Tuvok never had round ears. Spells epic beard. Yeah, Mandela effect, Carlo. Mandela effect. Absolutely. We've been Mandela'd. I say. Mr. Londell says another Trekkie's knowledge shattered. Well, it was the Excelsior refit. Exactly, Jason. Admiral Saval says Star Trek V was the best original series movie. Admiral Saval has been hanging out with Alexander. I don't know if it was the best, Admiral, but I don't think it was the worst. Kronos is saying no tail. I can do a tail. I can do a Bird of Prey 5 tail. Doesn't always have to be Mama Prey. I mean, you're welcome to do one, but I thought you didn't want to. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do a Mama Prey tail. Yeah. So, I don't know. I must have been like 12, 14. Me, Sister O'Prey, and Mom O'Prey are driving to Florida or up from Florida. I don't know. Dad O'Prey probably had to fly back for some reason, for work or something. But, or we're driving through Florida. Yeah. We were already made it to Florida, so we're driving from northern Florida to southern Florida. He drove with us. Right. Okay, yeah. Dad O'Prey drove down with us to Florida, then flew home, and then Mom O'Prey was driving us from, I believe, like around Merritt Island down towards, I don't know, where were we going? Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, to see my friend. So we were headed down, and Mom O'Prey, like I said, Dad O'Prey, I was never more comfortable with anybody. I hated when other people drove. That is why I always drove. Now, Mom O'Prey and Dad O'Prey, when they drove, that was okay. But Dad O'Prey was the only person I felt 100% safe with all the time when Dad O'Prey drove, for better or for worse. And certainly, after he thought he was watching the GPS line and it was the shoreline during the boat incident that I've talked about a few times, I started to think maybe. But by that time, I was driving so much, I was driving Dad O'Prey around by that point. So it didn't matter. But when I was a kid, like Dad O'Prey, and I probably should have not thought this, but to me, like Dad O'Prey could have done nothing wrong. I mean, he was used to driving big trucks, so certainly driving a Lincoln Town car. Yeah, he did. He had an excellent driving record. He really did. He never was in an accident, never had an accident. Living in New York City and never having an accident, even I can't say that. I can say I never had an accident. It was my fault, but he never had an accident, period. So. Or at least the other people. And if he did, nobody knows. If he did, nobody ever talked about it. No, I'm pretty sure he never had an accident. Mom O'Prey was a little more anxious driver. But also, I mean, our whole time growing up, thankfully, she never had an accident either. But, huh? No. No. Yeah, but that one doesn't count. But that was a long time later. But no, at this point in your life, you'd never had an accident. So, we're driving, and, you know, the roads are much bigger in Florida than they tend to be in New York. And, I don't know, we got off the highway to go to a gas station or something, and Mom O'Prey is turning off the exit, turning off to get onto, like, a main road that's, like, 3 lanes and has a divider and then another 3 lanes. And she makes the turn, and we're driving down the road, and I'm looking ahead, and I say, Mom O'Prey, why is that tractor trailer headed right for us? She turned onto the wrong side of the road. She didn't realize it was a divided highway, and she made a turn into the lanes coming right at us. Thankfully, there wasn't a ton of traffic, although if there was a lot of traffic, maybe she would have noticed. But this truck was a ways down, and it was coming right at us. And it took me, like, I don't know, 30 seconds as we're getting closer, and it's getting closer. I'm like, Mom, why is that truck coming right at us? And she, I guess, I assumed you flipped a U-turn or something. No, there was a shopping center. Oh, there was a shopping center. She pulled right into a shopping center. We got saved by a shopping center. Yeah, I'm a prey tale. And another driving Mama Prey tale, though she wasn't driving. We were coming back from my grandmother's house. This was even younger. This was in Brooklyn, and Dad O'Prey was driving. And there was this, you gotta understand, this was the early 80s, and Bigfoot was the big monster truck. That was like a famous monster truck, like the first famous monster truck. It was called Bigfoot. And I don't know, we turned down a road, and there was a big truck with big wheels. Something you might see now, but was really, you didn't see it in the 80s in New York City. Very, very rarely. And we turned down the street, and there was this big truck with these big monster wheels, stopped at a stoplight, and I saw it. I said, "Yo, Mom, Bigfoot!" And she was like, "Ah!" She looked. She was like, "Ah!" For a second. Just the briefest second, but just enough time that she really was worried that Bigfoot was going to run us over. So, there you go. You got two Mama Prey 5 tales. Thomas is my god, bird of prey. Get your movies right. Yeah. Ms. Mendoza's never go up a Sicilian when death is on the line. Oh, I said life. Admiral Savalas says the worst was insurrection. No. I mean, not to me. Maybe to you. That's fine. I'll tell you, it's not great, but I don't say it's the worst. Colonel says a bird of prey 5 tale of Mama Prey would be interesting, and Jason Link says, yay, Mama O'Prey. Carlos says bird of prey, does anyone remember Picard playing with the dilithium crystals while he was in his ready room? Maybe it should take another look. I have no idea. No, I don't remember Picard playing with dilithium crystals. I wouldn't even know where to look. Jason Link says Mama O'Prey, Daddy O'Prey, Sass O'Prey, Bird O'Prey. Nice. Well, yes, Sassy O'Prey. But in this story, Sassy O'Prey didn't yet exist. Our dog at the time would have been Princess O'Prey. Admiral Saval says, how did you get disabled, Bird O'Prey? Well, I was, up till 2009, I was living, working, walking, living a fairly normal life, had a good job. I was a director of engineering and technology at a local liquor importing company. I was doing really good at work, making good money, had owned my own house. Dad O'Prey was living with me, and I was having, at that point, I'd had kidney stones, I had back pains from sciatica, and slipped discs, and herniated discs, and nothing life, yes, very, very painful conditions, but not life-threatening conditions. And I also had been dealing with my primary care doctor, high triglycerides. Like, my triglycerides had been super high, for most people. Like, most people, they have high triglycerides. It's like 200 or 300, and like, okay, take medication. My triglycerides were like 2,000. 1,000 to 2,000. They would bounce back and forth. 1,200, 1,400, 1,800, 2,200, 900 once. I was like, oh my God, 900, so good. Then it would be back up to 1,400. And we were trying different medications, different things. Nothing was working. And I was just getting ready to make an appointment with a specialist, a lipid specialist in New York City, about the time this happened, but then I started getting a pain. And I thought, oh, this is my back. So I went to the chiropractor, and he did an adjustment, and they do a TENS machine, and he gave me a prescription for muscle relaxers. And more often than not, that would help. But this time it didn't help at all, and the pain got worse. So I said, oh, maybe, because I couldn't quite tell where the pain was coming from. So I said, oh, maybe it's a kidney stone. So I went to a urologist, and he did a sonogram of the bladder and the the tubes that go between, everywhere. And he's like, I don't see any stones. So I was like, oh, okay. Now, that doesn't mean it isn't a kidney stone, but it just means he didn't see any. So I go back home. My pain is getting worse, although I'm still going about my day. I was going to work. I was going out. And then one weekend, I think it just got too much. And I was like, Dad, this is crazy. I called my primary care doctor. He's like, you do have high triglycerides. One of the possibilities from high triglycerides is pancreatitis. You might want to go to the emergency room and have them check for pancreatitis. So we did. We went to the emergency room, and they said, yep, it was pancreatitis. And this was the day before Mother's Day in 2009. So I was being admitted to the hospital. Dad calls Mom will pray. Mom will pray comes rushing over to the hospital. And I was in a hell of a lot of pain. I admitted me into the ICU. The next day, they said that, hey, this is a very, very painful condition, but we can put you to sleep for a few days, and when you wake up, most of the pain would be over. And I was in so much pain at this point. I'd stood one more time, got out of bed the next day, and I stood and I sat in the chair next to my bed for like 30 seconds. I said, this was a terrible idea. I got back into the hospital bed, and they put me to sleep, and that was it. After they put me to sleep, I got a Klebsiella infection almost immediately from the hospital. I got a bunch of other problems. I was trached, and then the trach got caught on the hospital bed railing because it was set to auto-rotate me to stop me from getting bed sores. Oh, right, I didn't wake up. I mean, they put me to sleep, but I never woke up. They said that they didn't know how much to give me because of my weight. I was a heavy guy. So 4 days turned into weeks and weeks. Months. Yeah. So I was in a coma from May till September or so. I mean, there were times in August I'd wake up, but I'd forget everything I remembered the next day. And then they were still giving me the goddamn stuff to knock me out on Fridays, because they would the ICU nurses would knock everybody out over the weekend because there were no doctors on staff to deal with anything. So it was better everybody just be knocked out over the weekend. I swear to God, this was their standard practice. It would make Kurdistani Hospital proud. And anyway, so through all this time, a ton of things happened. I see Mama pray. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna get Mama pray.
Okay, I'm not getting on.
Yeah, I'll put the camera off. There you go. No camera.
All right.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right. I got to butt in here because he was in the coma. He went first, when he went into the coma, they said 4 days. No, 4 days turned into 4 months at least. First the infection set in, then his kidneys shut down. He had to go on dialysis. Of course, he was trached. The trach came out of his throat. His head blew up like a Mylar balloon. They luckily got in ICU, when someone's trached, they keep an extra at the bedside. Well, that's what happened. They had the extra. They got it back down his throat. His lung collapsed from that. But he's alive. That's the main thing. He finally woke up from the coma, but couldn't move.
Couldn't move, couldn't talk. Had the tubes down my throat.
Yeah.
And in terrible, terrible pain.
106 fever twice during that.
Yeah, the fever for a month.
No. Every day for 5.5 months you had a fever.
5.5 months of fever.
And 5.5 months of no food.
Yeah, no food, no nutrition at all. So yeah, it was pretty shitty. Anyway, during that time, I got what's called critical illness neuropathy, and that basically I couldn't move my arms or my legs at first. I got some use of my arms back, although towards the end, due to the nerve damage, the fingers contracted, and I can't walk. Slowly, doing physical therapy, I've gotten some slight movement of the legs back. I've gotten a bit stronger, certainly much stronger. When I woke up, I was so weak, my hands were so atrophied, my body was completely atrophied. I couldn't even press the button on a remote control. It was too hard to press a button, including the nurse call button in the hospital. So I couldn't call the nurse, even if I needed her. So Mom will pray, and Dad will pray, Sister will pray, and other close friends and family members. Somebody was literally with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the entire time. My business stuff. Oh, I did. Okay, guys, I'm assuming the mic is working again. Thank you, Thomas, for that heads up. So it was a pretty shitty situation. DJ says hey to Bob O'Prey and me.
Oh, hey, DJ.
Mom O'Prey saying hi to DJ. Kronos says he hates hospitals. Carlo says, Bird of Prey, if you Google Captain Picard playing with crystals, you'll get some on screenshots. I only noticed whilst rewatching TNG when Trackyard started their reviews. Oh, okay. So I guess it was a season 1. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. I guess it was a season 1 or 2 episode. I think they just finished season 1, Trackyards. So that's interesting. Yes, he is in Spaceballs. Tim Russ is in Spaceballs. He's one of the black guys combing the desert. Did you find anything yet? No. Did you find anything yet? No. Did you find anything yet? No. Did you find anything yet? We ain't found shit. I was in my mind. I was like, is that racist if I say that? I hope it wasn't. Kronos says, need to fix the volume. I'm sorry about that. Carlos says, Bird of Prey, Mama Prey, I send my heart out to you both. I am glad you are here for us all. I enjoy your content and chats. Thank you so much, Carlo. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, better. Barry, thank you. And Chris M. Claggin says, we love Mama Prey. We all do, indeed. And Kronos says, great line. Yeah, good line. Good line. It's only racist if you do it in black voice. Well, I thought I did do it in black voice. Although I didn't do it in blackface, so I guess I can't be Canadian's Prime Minister. Oh, is it too soon? Is it too soon? I'm sorry. Sorry, Multi-Gun Man, if you're here. Yeah. Well, guys, I think that's going to call it a night. Thank you guys for showing up. I know we got a lot of big-name YouTubers streaming right now. And I'll be honest, I'll probably listen to some of them and play Space Engineers. And I gotta eat. I should eat something too. Take care, everybody. Qapla. Thank you for all the fun tonight. And tomorrow we'll do something. I don't know what. I don't know when, but we'll figure it out. Oh, and Sunday, I think I'm gonna try and do the Rambo thing. So if you're around earlier on Sunday, try to check it out. Qapla. And T-Berg says it's okay, we can take a joke. I know you guys can take a joke. I'm worried about everyone else. Qapla. Take care. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out birdoprey5.com. the new home of everything Bird O' Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdO'Prey5 or on BirdO'Prey5.com. Take care. It's not that I won't talk about it, I just missed it, because I don't think he put at Bird O' Prey 5. And if he did put at Bird O' Prey 5, then I'm very sorry. But, Qapla.